Hey guys, Sean and Darren here. I thought we'd do a quick video on 10 things that I learnt through emotional healing or just learnt in the wonderful and amazing year of 2020. Let's go. Sometimes being annoyed is actually anticipation. That's the first thing. I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm just going in no particular order. But basically, through the act of surrendering to the feelings of other people's annoyance towards me, I actually realized that there was a level of excitement. That I thought I was a very annoying person, but through the way that I spoke or through the way that I interacted with people, there was actually just a little bit of anticipation. People would often be annoyed at me, but that was actually part of the excitement. Some people enjoy being annoyed. And if you don't let them be annoyed, you're never going to let them truly love you. For example, there are certain movies that if you jump straight to the end of the movie, you're going to miss the entire story, you're going to miss the payoff. But through the journey of an incredibly slow movie or an incredibly sometimes things are boring, they might have an intense payoff in the end. And if you don't let yourself have that, if you don't let yourself take that pace in storytelling, in the way you interact with someone, even sexuality, if you're always trying to skip to the end, you miss that anticipation. And as much as it might be annoying or frustrating, if you believe you're an annoying person, you probably present yourself. If you own that, you can actually realize that that's anticipation. And this came through an act of surrender. Number 2, successful businesses are often platforms for something else. This, for example, Xbox or PlayStation or all that stuff could be a great example. There are a bunch of different platforms that actually have different games and stuff like that. But if you want to play specifically Halo, you got to get an Xbox. This realization came to me when I was looking at NFTs. Now, I don't know much about NFTs as some of you NFT bros, but forgive me if I'm wrong that it's based on a particular platform. So to have an NFT, you're essentially investing in a platform, thus therefore elevating that platform. Number 3, emotional issues can be solved, and that's often a place to start. If you know me, if you know my love of emotional healing, you'll know that where's the first place to start? Surrender, surrender, surrender. Often, even if it's dealing with health issues, life issues, not just emotional issues, the act of emotional surrender should always be the first place to start, because usually any breakthrough starts from there. People are usually impatient. They get caught up with the results. They're like, oh, you did this, therefore you got this result. And that's true, but they forget that a lot of results come from an emotional foundation. You talk to anyone who's had any breakthrough in life, and you will see that it often did start from a moment of emotional surrender, that they finally fully felt something, they let that cycle pass, and therefore they were able to thus easily, effortlessly move forward. It's like dealing with anxiety, depression, also health issues, career, fucking everything. So I've pretty much dedicated this channel in the past to emotional healing. In the future, I'm going to be dedicating it to just me and my growth, and also growth that you might go through. But it's worth recognizing that, emotional healing is often the foundation of everything, and that these issues that we have, issues like depression, anxiety, just those two alone, which are huge issues for a huge majority of people, can be solved. And they can be solved through the most easiest, hardest way possible. And that is through emotional surrender, through feeling those fucking things. And I know that lesson for me was something that I learned maybe 2015 when I actually had to learn, and I decided I was going to map the process of emotional healing, thus becoming the coach I am today. But that has never been more evident this year than it has been last year or the year before or whatever it was. I'm not going to waffle on this. Let's move to the next one. Number 4, I think. If I'm not loved for who I am, if I'm not loved for who I am, I'm not loved at all. If I'm not loved for who I am, I'm not loved at all. Basically, that being said, obviously there's that rule that people say, like, if you don't love me at my worst, you don't get me at my best. And that is dangerous. Because if you say you don't love me at my worst, then you don't get me at my best, does that mean you're going to emotionally abuse people? You're going to push people away? There's that phrase, I can't remember, what was it? It's Succession, they talk about this, where it's like, this person loves to kick people, see how far they can kick them, and for them to keep coming back, and that's how they perceive love. This is not talking about that. This is talking about being loved for who and what you actually are. And there's a rule that I have that if I'm not loved for who and what I am, I'm not loved. It's not good enough for me. And that's my most intimate relationship. And now that might be hard for some people. I'm just sharing you what I've learned. And that means that setting that standard in not only discovering who and what I am, but letting myself be loved for who and what I am. So that means if there is an element of myself that I'm hiding, not just from my most intimate partner, but my friends, my family, things like that, and I'm hiding because I want them to love me, then I have to show that. Because if I don't show that side to myself, and most of the time they don't love me for that because I've hidden it. I haven't given them the opportunity to. Now, there is that, like I can say, like, if I don't love for who I am, then I'm not loved at all. Knowing who you are is fucking hard. Like, that's half the problem. Like, we don't know who we are in the first place. But that's my thing. And that stands for every fucking thing. We have this huge element of, like, subtle emotional manipulation because we want people to love us or like us or to see us in a certain way. There's that rule, fake it till you make it. Fuck it. I'm enough as who I am. Why do I have to fucking fake it? Sure, you might not have the skills, the knowledge, whatever. But if you have to fake it, you're not recognizing the part of you that is unique, beautiful, whatever it is, as you are. And that has the ability to learn. And from that foundation, you can be enough in the outside world, but you are fucking enough on the inside world. Trust me, as a man who went for years by the name Harvey Hook as an element of whitewashing myself, or what is it? I had this Zoroastrian community call it, was it Anglophilia? Because I was afraid that people wouldn't like me for who and what I am. You are allowed to be loved for who and what you are. You are allowed. You do not have to hide. And if someone sees the real version of you and freaks out, it's because you challenge them that they have been hiding the whole time. It's like that crab pit. If you shine and they have been struggling to shine for their whole life, why do you deserve to, but they couldn't? What example are you leading if you do not shine as an example? Like, what example are you leading? Are you saying that everyone has to suffer? And what is it, number 5? I don't know. At the very least, people like your company. This came to me the other day, actually, through processing some social anxiety that I thought I had completely resolved, but I was in a social situation, didn't know how to talk to certain people, often have a standard often have a standard of myself that I should be talking to certain people. So I'm surrendering, letting myself fully surrender and feel that anxiety. What ends up happening? I end up just realizing deep down that, hey, guess what? At the very least, these people just want my company. And I just gave it to them. From that deep new platform of healed socialness, I just let myself be around these people, didn't have to start conversations, didn't have to force myself to be this person. I hate forcing myself to do things. Don't want that anymore for myself. So what ended up happening? I ended up just giving this person company, and within a couple seconds, they started talking to me. They started sharing to me. Anyone who has social anxiety, and if you're dealing with things like you're having questions like, how do I talk to this person? You're forgetting that person wants to fucking talk to you. Mwah. Next one. Now, this one's an interesting one because it's very disempowering. It's very disempowering, but at the same time, extraordinarily empowering. You can't do anything alone, so why even try? Now, there's 2 parts to this. Let's go back to this position. I like this position. You can't do anything alone, so why even try? Look at me. I made a YouTube channel all by myself. I'm making this video all by myself. Is it really all by myself? Did I really make this video all by myself? You're watching this on YouTube. Did I make YouTube? No. I'm filming this on my phone. Did I make this phone? No. You cooked this meal all by yourself. Did you get those carrots? Did you grow those carrots? Probably not, depending on how much of a green thumb you are, or a kitty scratched green thumb that you are. You can't do anything by yourself, so why even try? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes we need to prove to ourselves that we can. There are some people, and I've definitely been one of these people, where you want to remove elements to prove to yourself that if you don't have those elements, that you can do it by yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. But truth be told, we are a collective. You are not in a vacuum, which means the attempt to try and do something to yourself is an attempt of survival. or an ego validation. On the other hand, because we are not in a vacuum, there must be respect paid to the entire intentional and intense ecostructure. If you are lucky that on Boxing Day you can have a day off, that is because hundreds and thousands of people or millions of people around the globe made that possible. We are in a collective, and that, once you can respect that, you know your place in it. And because you know your place in it, it's not just this element of like respect and appreciation and humbleness, but it's like you just understand things. You understand things at a different level, and I'm not prepared to share that in this video. So I've always talked about emotional surrender. It is literally how I've transformed my life. Number 7, how to handle drama better. Well, surrender to the drama. Not surrender to the drama per se, but surrender to how the drama feels. When I talk about emotional surrender, we're always surrendering to emotions. So when I say, hey, you got to surrender to how it feels, you don't have to surrender to life. You just surrender to how it feels. So for example, it's like drama. When you surrender to something, the cycle completes itself. When the cycle completes itself, you are essentially healed in that area, and your body and your mind and your soul will move on to the next level. So when someone brings drama into your life, you surrender to how the drama feels, but everything about it. Ooh, why do they have to hurt me like this? Why are they doing this? Eventually you realize you're just responding to how you feel, and that it's actually not the situation, and you can respond in any way that you want. And you have a very conscious, lucid moment, whether it is conscious or unconscious, very subconscious. For me, as a coach, for someone who lives and breathes this, as a mapper of the healing journey, I'm very aware of this. So if I'm leading someone through this healing journey, I will pinpoint the exact decision that they made. Often when I'm facilitating someone else through that, they are not aware of it. And that is fine. It is a trained thing that I've wanted to, and I've surrendered the fact that I want to be the person explaining this. But the drama, once healed, every time it happens, you will be shot out of it. And if you are not shot out of it, there is just something more to heal in it. And I mean that because there are people in my life who bring drama, and now I can handle their drama more than ever. If it is someone who has more drama than I can handle, without even thinking, I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot handle this extra drama, and I walk away. Sometimes I've actually petted them and helped them heal their own issues. You will not be in it because you will not be affected by it as much once you surrender. I'm just sitting in the same spot, I don't care. Number 9. Healed sex is always better than unhealed sex. What is healed sex? Healed sex is surrendered sex. Surrendered to feelings. The cycle has passed. You're able to learn and grow and deal with your subconscious things. Unhealed sex is very much programmed sex. We think that we want to have it. We think that we should have to have it. We think that we're not performing good enough. We think it has to happen a certain way. We're uncomfortable with giving. We're uncomfortable with receiving. So we have to give extra. We have to receive extra. We're uncomfortable with our issues around sexuality. We think that we have to, we've got this extra drama around it. It's like too much is not good enough. Too little is not good enough. That we aren't performing enough, that, oh my God, I have to have an orgasm and it didn't happen. All of these issues, fucking surrender to it. Process that shit. Surrender those feelings. Once they are resolved, holy shitballs, having sex without these issues is like being yourself in the most purest way with your partner or partners on whatever you fucking decide that you want, because what you want, you are allowed to want. Having this emotional freedom, physical freedom, it not only increases the pleasure that you receive because you are less blocked, but just helps your partner connect with you, and it is beautiful. It is more beautiful than anything you will fucking encounter. So having this ability to heal, surrender everything you have around sex is the most simplest way. Surrender is the most simplest fucking thing, and it solves so many issues, and it is fucking free. Sure, I joke, working with me might not be free. Don't give a shit about that. When I had to figure this out when I was the most depressed and the most poor. So you can figure this out when you are in that state too. You don't have to be rich. to heal. Number 10, even though there's going to be a bonus one, number 10 is honestly, the act of trying to lose weight can be an element of self-harm. This to me is a big one. I've been surrendering this for the last year or so, or even more. It has been one of the most deep-rooted problems I've had. I often find, although I say it's deep-rooted, it's because no one has the answer in what I'm looking for. I find that now as a sort of a teacher of this, because I've solved a lot of problems, it's really easy. I know what to look for when helping other people heal these issues. But the act of, through my own journey of surrendering, how do I lose weight? I can't lose weight. This is an issue. I've actually realized that sometimes the act of attempting to lose weight is actually an element of self-harm, that we're desperately trying to reduce ourselves, that we are disconnected from our stomachs, that we are disconnected from food, and that the attempt to control food is an attempt to control pain. And that once we are comfortable with pain, we're actually comfortable witnessing food, and we might make healthier choices. I found that to be the case throughout surrendering. Even though I have not gotten to the desired weight that I want to this year, I've actually let go of what that is, because I've realized I'm less trying to hurt myself. And that was the issue. Now, I'm someone who's actually had eating disorders in the past. I kept it very quiet. I'd be like, ooh, intermittent fasting. And then it was like, intermittent fasting, I won't eat 1 day a week. Then I was like, intermittent fasting, I won't do 2 days a week. Oh, intermittent fasting, I won't eat 3 days a week. And then it's like 7 days a week. I'm skinny, still fat, malnourished. And I finally, that cycle completed itself, forced surrender. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But through my healing of my weight loss, I'm particularly fucked up in that area. I've had to basically re-experience all the pain I went through. But the attempt of weight loss is very much an attempt of self-harm for some people, because you don't like yourself. You're trying to modify yourself. Similarly, surrendering to how it feels looking at yourself, you'll start to love who and what you are. If you ever look at yourself and have pain seeing yourself, if you ever look at yourself and be like, fuck that person, or I feel bad looking at this person, which happens to be you, that's incredibly painful and has this incredibly negative self-loop. Surrendering to how it feels heals that pain, lets you love yourself for who and what you are. You'll discover how attractive you are. Doesn't mean you can't lose weight, because if you want to lose weight, that's in your manifest destiny. Just like if you want to be a certain, have a certain amount of money, or have this particular career, or whatever it is, or have particular people love you. It's all fine. It's all loved. It's all fantastic. Love that for who and what you are. You want what you want. Surrender to the feelings of wanting it, because sometimes the desire is something we lock ourselves into. But just realize that there are two ways to do things. There's an unhealed way and a healed way. And the unhealed way often is an act of self-harm. We're trying to do something because we're trying to minimize something. Minimize pain, minimize anxiety, minimize depression. But the healed is often the opposite. What is the healed version? We're trying to grow. We're trying to shine. We're not depressed anymore. We're not afraid of being depressed because we're done with it. We're not afraid of being stuck. We're not afraid of being fat or malnourished or seen. So it's hard for some people, because the act of healing is an act of being seen and looking at your true self and letting your true self come out. That's fucking difficult, because we have been trained to be a certain way. And if you are one of these people looking at this video and you go, I have grown more and I let myself shine more every day, congratulations. You are the minority. Especially when I speak to people who are so grounded, I'm trying to say this very politely, so grounded in conditioned relationship responses. Men are like this, women are like this, relationships happen like this. That's fine. If that keeps you safe, have it. I don't give a shit. But if you want a healed relationships, you have to look at every fucking thing and surrender to every fucking thing. I think this, how does it make me feel? I like this, how does it make me feel? We go from unhealed to healed. Healed relationships, full of pain, trying hard, mitigating pain. That's unhealed. Healed relationships. It doesn't matter. I will be loved for who I am. You will be loved for who you are. I love you for what you are. Let's do things that make us happy. And I see you, and it's got recognition. You are grown, just a grown fucking human. I often call this second adulthood, because you are willing to look at everything that you have collected to get you this far and decide if it will get you that far. Bonus one. Let's go. Same position. Don't care. No one cares. Let's go. Bonus thing I learned this year. Sometimes we don't let ourselves truly be happy because we are worried it will make other people unhappy. Now, that is an interesting thing, because if you are worried to be happy because you will hurt other people, what the fuck is up with that? This is such a deep, unconscious thing, that the act of limiting oneself, the act of self-harm, I have to do this, I have to be this way. What example are you leading? Now, I say, what example are you leading? That's something through my own healing journey I was able to witness my partner say. She said, yeah, like, if you are making yourself small, what example are you leading? And that, because I was so ready to receive it, yeah, that's often a cycle of the healing journey. Once you've healed something, you are ready to receive. Usually the answer has been there around you the whole fucking time. If you limit your happiness because you are afraid of hurting someone else, you are telling them that being unhappy is the way to be. And that's fucking painful. Because if you want them to be happy, just like you, and everyone always says this, they're like, being happy is unrealistic. Being happy all the time is unrealistic. Yeah, sure. Healed happiness. This again, unhealed happiness, healed happiness. Let's change position. Nah, fuck the position. Unhealed happiness is desperate, is held on to. So when we say it's unrealistic, yeah, because there was attachment. There was such vicious attachment to the unhealed happiness that we were so desperately trying to hold on to it to make it last. So that's why people say, oh, it's unrealistic. I tried to make it last and it didn't. Healed happiness, fully surrendered, processed happiness is like a fucking bird. It lands on you, it doesn't land on you, it does not matter. Because it's deep grounded knowing it is fine. The tides of life come, the tides of life go. And this is why I often call it meta happiness. It doesn't have to be this intense ecstaticness, but it is meta. It is happiness about the happiness. You will be groundedly happy despite how it feels, because it is okay when it comes and it is okay when it goes. And that rule there, it is okay when it comes, okay when it goes, lasts in a lot of things. We talk about healed sexuality. I'm looking this way because it's a fucking beautiful day. At least it's nice for me to look outside. Healed sexuality. Sex. It is okay when it comes and it's okay when it goes. Unhealed sexuality. I covet thee. It is not enough. I am not enough. You are not enough. Why are we not doing enough? And I'm exaggerating, but these are the exaggerated points. That's how it feels when people are in their wounding around the sexuality. That's the thing that comes up. Unhealed friendships. I covet thee. You cannot leave me. Healed friendships. I love you for who you are. I want the best for you. There are tides, there are flows, there's more, there's less. And the irony is, the more, it's like you're like a bird. You are still, you are free, you are peace, you are the tree. The birds can land on you because you are worthy of the birds. The friendship, the love, the money, the whatever. Money, I covet thee. I've been surrendering a lot about money. The inability to grow financially is often, and this is very new for me to share, this is very fucking new for me, the inability to grow financially is actually a coveted hold on. We do not let the flow happen. Now, I'm not fully prepared to support that statement just yet because I'm still in a phase of healing that, but it is intense. Healed love, even giving love. It's okay if I love you. It's okay if I don't. That's fine. Because if I'm okay not loving you, you specifically, helping, giving, I can let go of the parts of relationships that I don't want, love parts of relationships that I do want, fully attach to those relationships, let myself fully be myself when I do, ask for space when I don't. It's okay because I'm not hurting you, and it's okay hurting you. I'm not stabbing you. I'm not bringing you harm. Sometimes when we are afraid of hurting someone, it's actually because we're afraid of loving ourselves. It's like, I need space. So what do? We build it up. I don't want to hurt you, so I need space, but I can't ask for that because I'm afraid of hurting you. It becomes this big thing. I need space, I need space, I need space. Then they break up. But you are comfortable hurting your partner. So what do? You're comfortable with the small things. Doesn't matter if you hurt them, because what you perceive as hurt is actually projected hurt. That you're actually discounting their ability to handle what you want and who you are. That's what we said before. Love for who you are, right? Love for who you fucking are. We are not letting people love us for who we are, and we are saying that they are not strong enough to handle who and what we are. And is that true? Yeah, well, for some people it's true. For some people, it's a fucking falsity. So, what do? I don't know. What do you want to do? What is something you learned from 2021? What's something you want to happen out of 2022? I'll talk to you soon.